Hey, bonjour, welcome. So today we visited the Picasso Museum. I kind of want to go through a few things on the Picasso Museum for you guys. This video will hopefully not be as long as my Senior Bonjour because the Picasso Museum is much smaller a museum. However, we'll get straight to the insider tip. The insider tip is Picasso lived until 1973. He was born in the 1880s. He lived 91 years. So his artwork is actually, and cubism actually goes well with the contemporary modern art movement you see in Center Pompidou. Conveniently, the museums are about a 10 to 15 minute walk from each other. So my insider tip is the Picasso Museum is worth 1, maybe 2 hours of your time, topping off at 2, roughly. So why not make a day of it? Come explore the 3rd and 4th arrondissement, the Marseille area of Paris, which is a beautiful neighborhood. Walk around, see the Picasso Museum, have some lunch, and then when you're ready, head over to the Center Pompidou and enjoy your afternoon and make an entire day of it. There's lots of sidewalk cafes. You will have a lovely time, and you will get to see the Picasso Museum and the Center Pompidou, and it's really a nice day. So let's talk about the Picasso Museum. First of all, the thing that partially makes the museum is the building. The building is beautiful. I'm showing you pictures of it now. It was completed in 1660. Obviously, it was not meant to be a museum, and it later became a museum. This will become relevant in a second. But both the outside and the inside are absolutely stunningly gorgeous. So I'm showing you some video. I'm playing you some video of just walking around inside, showing you some pictures so that you get a feel for the actual structure. Because I'm telling you that because I don't like single artist museums. I've been to several of them. They're not my favorite. Cubism is definitely not my favorite. I've never gotten into it. I don't really like it. It's just kind of like, You know, one of the quotes in the Picasso Museum was from another famous artist who basically said, "We got rid of Cubism, but we didn't get rid of Pablo Picasso." And I thought that was really interesting, right? Because his influence was so strong. Again, Picasso was such a prolific artist and dabbled in so many mediums. He got different periods of his life. So let's start walking through it. The cool thing about the Picasso Museum is the curator did a great job of incorporating other aspects of art, etc. And so the first floor is rotating exhibits. The particular exhibit that I'm showing you pictures of now were a rich person's home who had been alive during Picasso's lifetime. His connection with Picasso was that when he built his grand apartment, he had Picasso commission Picasso to do some of the artwork, but he also acquired a lot of artwork from others, so he was a patron of the arts. So this was the collection that was meant to be in his apartment. Unfortunately, and so I'm showing you pictures of some of that artwork. I don't know if it'll be here by the time you get to Paris, but it was really neat. Unfortunately, he fell upon hard times during the Great Depression, and his collection was largely scattered and disbanded, but it was a beautiful collection. So the curator did a great job, in my opinion, of adding a connection to Picasso and showing you more art rather than just Picasso. Let's move on up. I'm going to show you some of the artwork from the Picasso collection. As you can see, I'm showing you more video of the building because I think that the building is fantastic. I think the building is worth going to see. I think that your €16 ticket price, the building is part of why you should go, just to be real candid. Okay, so on to Picasso. Picasso, being a very prolific artist, painted over 2,000 paintings, 11,000 drawings, and thousands of sculptures and ceramics. A lot of those are on display. Well, I say a lot of those. Obviously, you can't display all that, but the curator did a great job of giving you a healthy selection of everything. The museum arguably flows chronologically. I say arguably because, unfortunately, the museum has a horrible flow to it. It's really scattered. You got rooms 1 through 4, then 7 through 9, then you go upstairs. It's not clear where you're supposed to go upstairs, that you're supposed to go upstairs. And I don't think that's the curator's fault. I'm not blaming the curator for that. I think that that is a product of the building in which the museum is located as opposed to the curation of the artwork. But theoretically, it flows chronologically. The curator does a very good job of kind of stopping you at points of Picasso's life and showing you things like his etching phase and his sculpture phase. And on the wall, in sometimes very awkward places, there's explanations for each room. I found that you'd stand there reading it and it was just not real clear whether you were then supposed to go left or right. Again, I think that's a product of the building and space itself and what the curator had to work with, as opposed to the curator doing a bad job. But it was awkward. I love museums. I love the way they're designed. To me, they should tell a story. So as you can see, I'm going to show you some of the sculptures and now some of the ceramics. All of those were different phases of Picasso's life. He moved around. He became a member of the Communist Party in France. He ended up in various parts of France. So he lived an interesting life and created a diversity of artwork. I'm not a fan of cubism. If you are, then it's certainly worth spending more than an hour there. You won't see all of Picasso's work because it's be impossible. The museum has basically 2 floors devoted solely to Picasso's work. It is, after all, the Picasso Museum. So I think it's worth going to see if you combine it with something else. I would not make a trip to the Third Arrondissement just to see the work of Picasso. I would definitely make the trip to see the Centre Pompidou and to explore that. Aside from that, the museum is next to a beautiful garden. I say beautiful garden. It's a small garden. It's a Parisian style garden, right? You can see pensioners out. You can get a feel for Parisian life. So I think that is well worth your time. So that is kind of my review and my insider tip for the Picasso Museum. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button and watch our future videos. We're going to keep making them as long as you guys keep watching them. Thank you so much.